945, and we're here live in Southwest Florida at the beach in our beloved, the heck is it called? Driftwood Forest. I don't know why I had a little brain fog there, but that's okay. If you're joining me live, please say hello. Let me know if you are crafting this morning. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll wait a few seconds for people to pop over from pre-chat and notifications. Got lots of sneak peeks to show you this morning and a preview of something else. Hi Lisa and Lily, Grace, Leona, Judy. Good morning, welcome back. Hi Patricia. Hi Lori and Doris, Karen, Carrie. Good morning, happy Wednesday, happy hump day. Hi Joe, good morning. Hi Karen. So to start with, well, let's start over again because I know not everybody hears my greeting. Good morning and welcome back to the Kristin Omdahl Show. This is episode 945 and we are here live in Southwest Florida at the beach in our beloved Driftwood Forest. It's so beautiful here. And I did a little bit of a photo shoot this morning, as you can see from the thumbnail. I have a brand new pattern that I released yesterday, and it is called the Luxe Becca Top Down Half Hexagon Knit Shawl. It is so beautiful, and I did it in the teal family of colors of Be So Luxe yarn. So at the top here, it starts in Sea Breeze, then it goes to Tropicana Cabana, then Waterfall Rendezvous, and then Peacock Feathers. So beautiful. It's a 4-ball project, 1 ball each of the 4 balls. And as I was doing it, you can get the pattern on my website now. It is available now. Every single row is written out, so you can follow along. There aren't any of those sections where it says continue on in pattern. It's all written out. Unfortunately, during my little photo shoot at the beach here, I damaged the shawl. Looks like I ripped it on one of the knots on the tree, and I didn't realize that it was resisting me until I pulled too hard. So, you know, I'm in a rush when I do stuff in the morning before the show. And could I have been more gentle? Yes. Could I have been more careful? Yes. But here's the good news about it. Now I have an excuse to do a knit surgery video later today. So I'll show you how I'm going to fix this, because you know what? I'm not the only one that damages their stuff. What if you wear cocktail rings and you get stuff stuck and you get yarn stuck on there sometimes? What if you just go near somebody else and someone else rips your stuff? There's all sorts of reasons why things rip. What if you put something in the washing machine and don't put it in a laundry bag first and it gets stuck on something else? It could get stuck on something walking around the house. It could get stuck on something on the car. Like, there are reasons why, whether we, and I'm saying I was sloppy this morning. I was a little too quick and not very thoughtful as I was rushing to do this photo shoot before the show started. And I'm not implying that that's the reason why your stuff gets damaged. We can damage things by accident too. It's okay. And the more we know about how to fix things, the better off we'll be. So I'm saying that this is lemons being turned into lemonade because this gives me I would never damage something to do a surgery video. That feels reckless. However, now that I do have this, I will show you how to fix it. It's possible that I will fix it beautifully, and it's possible that I'll fix it so-so. Either way, it's better than having a hole. So I will show you what needs to be done. What happens now is that I don't have any tools for stopping it from unraveling even more while we're sitting here at the beach and while I transport it in and out of bags to get it back home. So I don't know if I'm going to make the damage worse before I get home. So because of that, I can't guarantee that it will be a perfect surgery job, but I can at least show you. And you know what? That's also realistic for when you're doing something as well. What if you have damage and you don't know you have damage? And let's say you're out, I don't know, where would you be? A party, on a walk, wherever, and let's say something gets damaged and you don't know right away. Let's say you don't know right away and you continue wearing it and you continue moving around and the damage gets bigger and bigger and the stitches unravel more and more. The bigger the mistake, the harder it is to fix, right? So we'll see how bad it ends up being when I get home, but either way, I'm going to show you the tools that I have in my arsenal for fixing a mistake like that, and we'll do the best we can, and I'll talk about the situation as we go. So I think it'll be very helpful as a video in itself. Whether or not I actually do a perfect job, I don't think it's necessary to do a perfect job, because honestly, if you looked over any of your pieces with a magnifying glass, are you going to see where you wove in your ends? As the maker, yes, you are, right? I mean, let's be realistic. If we are going to look at something under a magnifying glass, we're going to see every time our tension changed. We're going to see every time we wove in a loose end. Now, from a glance, from other people wearing our clothes that we made with our woven in ends and whatever little human errors we have along the way, no, they're not going to see it. We're the only ones that can see that anyway. So even if I cannot make this perfect, it's still good enough. And Judy has a great point. Thanks, Judy. There is no such thing as perfection. We're just going to fix it so that it is not an eyesore. It does not make people focus in on it, and so that it does not unravel back further and make bigger damage. So either way, it's a win-win. We're going to fix it, and I'm going to share with you what I know about fixing. Could you do a better job? Possibly. There are some people that will watch it that could do a better job, and that's okay too. I've mentioned this before many times. Even yesterday, as I was braiding my hair on camera and I made a mistake. There are learning opportunities when you watch someone make a mistake as well, because you can say, I know what you did was wrong there, so you can learn. And a lot of people will say this isn't true, but you can learn from others' mistakes as well if you're open to learning. The key to learning is having an open mind in the first place. So whether it's learning from a teacher, learning by self-exploration, learning from your mistakes, or learning from watching others' mistakes, it all requires an open mind. The level of open mind has a direct correlation with the level of learning. So yeah, so we're gonna do it, and if you can see something that you would do better, even better. That's my job as a teacher, to give you inspiration and ideas, right? And it doesn't, yeah, so there. I have more sneak peeks to show you today too, but does anybody have any questions about this pattern? I'm not gonna fool around with it too much this morning, because the more I touch it, I'll lift it up one more time, but the more I touch it, the more it's going to possibly unravel. So I'm going to be really gentle with that side, but as you can see, it's a half hexagon, and like we talked about the other day, a half hexagon is 3 repeats where a triangle would be 2 repeats. So let's try to hide that one, see what that would look like as a triangle as well. So you might recognize that as a top-down triangular shawl, and then look at there, we have another repeat, so it's a top-down half hexagon shawl. Half hexagon means it's 3 repeats. A full hexagon would be 6 repeats. And I did a soft color change by alternating the colors at the color change sections. So there's a little bit of striping in between each color. And each of the sections is done in garter stitch, which means knit every row until we get to the edging. And in the pattern, it tells you what the pattern repeat is for the edging. So if you want to do this beautiful scallop lace edging on any other pattern, it tells you what you need to know. I believe it's a multiple of 16 plus 2 for the first row, but because it grows to create the scallops, obviously it'll change from there. But the only row you really need that information on is the row that you would be adding it to, right? So I could be wrong on the multiple and the plus, so make sure you check the pattern, but I believe that's what it is. So you could add this to a skirt, a dress, a different shawl, an afghan. You could add it to anything. It does not have to be just for this pattern. So anytime you purchase one of my patterns, and any pattern for that matter, you can pull any component of the pattern and use it on something else. Isn't that wonderful? As long as you know how to implement things like understanding a multiple and a plus, you can do it on anything, and isn't that wonderful? Now, if you wanted to do this in the round, remember you would skip the +2. It would just be a multiple of whatever it is. I think it's 16. Anyway, and that applies for most things. There are some complications when it comes to doing things in the round, and that's when there are increases or decreases at the very end of a row, and we can talk about that with the board another day. Does anybody have any other questions about that? The pattern will tell you how much yarn you need, everything else you need to know. There are notes about the multiple. Oh, and when doing because the lace edging is done with such a large number of colors, a large number of stitches, I was reading a comment, it's very helpful if you put a stitch marker in between each repeat so you don't get lost. And there is a note about that in the pattern as well. And when I do the tutorial videos, I'll show you that as well. Does anybody have any other questions? Because when we're done talking about that one, I've got 3 more sneak peeks to show you today. Can you believe that? 3. Not 1, not 2, but 3. Kat's enjoying making the Christmas stocking. Wonderful. It's so fun and easy. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Okay, so I have 3 things to show you. 2 of them are in Be So Easy and 1 of them is in Be So Vivid, and I think a lot of you are going to get super excited about what I'm about to show you in Be So Vivid. Grace already knows. This pattern's already in tech editing. No pressure, Grace. That's not what I meant by that, but she knows the sneak peek already. I can't wait to show you. I think you guys are going to be excited. If I'm excited, I think you're going to be excited too. So I have a super cute pattern done in Be So Vivid yarn, 1 ball. They're fingerless mitts with these embossed flowers on the outside. How cutie is that? How cutie is that? Are they not adorable? So this is 1 ball of Be So Vivid yarn in color This'll Make You Smile, and I believe this will make you smile. Aren't they adorable? They'd be pretty in any color. I mean, this color is beautiful, but my goodness, they'd be pretty in any color. How adorable are they? Like, I can't get over it. They make me so happy. So here's what's so amazing about this pattern. And if you have, let's see, if you have my book, The Finer Edge, the edging book, you might recognize this stitch pattern because this could be used as an edging, and it was featured in that book as an edging. This stitch pattern, those flowers are worked, and you might notice because the flowers, because it's a self-striping yarn and the flowers match where they're placed, that's because they're crocheted into the row they're on. They are not crocheted separate and sewn on afterwards. They're worked right into the row that they're on. They are connected to the row. So as you're working this row, you do the flower and you keep on going. Then you do the flower and you keep on going. It's part of the row, which is such an incredible way to feature self-striping yarn. To see any type of 3-dimensional embossed work that's worked within the row, it gives you an amazing opportunity to feature the self-striping nature of the yarn. So fun, and it's not difficult to do. There is a single crochet, a chain, a slip stitch, and a double crochet. Like, that's it in this pattern. They're not difficult, but they definitely have the wow factor. Aren't they adorable? So that pattern is almost ready, and it will be a 1 ball project in Be So Vivid yarn. Okay, no sewing whatsoever. Even the last row of the pattern is slip stitched to join to the first row of the pattern. It could not be easier. They are an amazing gift. They are a quick project, not difficult to make. Like, they are, and they are so cute that they just bring joy to you to look at them, let alone wear them. So very excited to share that with you. So that will be out soon. I did make some progress on my poncho piece last night. I wanted to show you that so this was top down, and then we add little sections on the side to make it square. Can you see how beautiful that graphic is? And can you visualize this as an Afghan now? If you made this much, much bigger, isn't that amazing, right? And I haven't decided if I like it, if I'm gonna wear it as a poncho. I can't decide if I like it this way or this way. I kind of like this way. This is the top-down construction here, and these are the two side panels here, and I kind of like it this way too. So imagine I'm going to have a turtleneck here, and then I'm going to probably put some cuffs on the ends and do some edging on the sides and the bottom, so it'll be a little bigger than this when it's done. But my goodness, and imagine this narrower and longer as a scarf. And I think that narrower and longer as a scarf would be amazing in the Be So Vivid yarn. But I do feel like, I agree, Grace, I think it's more flattering in this direction. Anyway, either way, I'm very happy with the way it turned out. Love my straight edges. Isn't that amazing that we could turn a top-down triangular shawl into a perfect squared edge? So pretty. I'm very excited about that. So definitely making progress there. And then we have a pattern that is almost done. If I do it in two versions where I do a sleeveless and a sleeved version, then I guess you could say it's kind of almost done. But I do believe I want to add sleeves to it. But you guys decide. So I finished the Cardi wrap in Be So Easy yarn in color fuchsia, and I'll try it on so you can see which way is the front. There's the front. But I do believe I want to add sleeves to it still. If I add sleeves, then I'm not done, and if I don't add sleeves, then I have to make them still. And then we'll get on to, then we'll move on to tech editing and photography and publishing and all that stuff. But I wanted you to see how cute it is already. And it actually looks super cute with the outfit I have on. I'm gonna have to back up. Can you see me from there? How far away am I? Am I far enough? I don't know how far away I can get and still be on. All right, can you see? I can't see. I might just have to do this one on my knees. There. Can you see the whole thing? I can't tell. So here's the back. And for those of you that like a little more bum coverage, you're gonna like this one for that. This one comes down a lot lower than the last one. I think it was the crocheted one that I did. I love it just as a vest too, Lisa, but I think I should add sleeves to show some options for people that like it as with sleeves too. But I think as a vest it looks so beautiful over a long sleeve shirt. And honestly, I think the pink looks great over the denim and the white too. I should have done a photo shoot of this one this morning too in this outfit. Well, I'll have to just remember that it looks good in this outfit. Anyway, I think it looks absolutely adorable. Not difficult to do at all. This is going to be a relatively easy pattern as well. Even I did a little bit of wrapping and I did a little bit of short rows in the collar, and what's cool is that when you do short rows in garter stitch, it's the only stitch pattern that you can do short rows without having to do a wrap and turn. So, which is another technique, which makes it a much easier beginner type project. The color is great. I agree. It's called Fuchsia and it's in Be So Easy yarn. I do not know how many balls yet, but I'll definitely, obviously when the pattern comes out, all of that will be available. And I still have to figure out if I'm making sleeves or not, and then figure out how much the sleeves take. And if I do sleeves, then I'll have to I'm gonna have to size it anyway. Yeah. I think I'm going to have to size it for the armhole openings anyway, regardless of whether I make sleeves. So there's that. Yes, the knit, actually the vest is knit, the poncho is knit, the shawl is knit. The only crochet piece I showed this morning are the fingerless gloves. And I named them already. I named them in order to write the pattern and send it off to tech editing yesterday, but now I can't remember the name of it. Oh well, I'll let you know. I'm having a little bit of brain cell misfiring this morning. I've forgotten a couple of things. Oh well, that's life. What are you gonna do? Does anybody have any questions? Lots of fun stuff to show you this morning. Plus we're in our beloved driftwood forest. How beautiful is it here? It's a little distracting, but only in the best way possible. Vivid Petal, thank you, Grace. Yes, these are going to be called the Vivid Petal Fingerless Mitt Crochet Pattern. Oh, so stinking cute. I just can't believe it. So anyway, here's the thumb hole. The thumb hole is created in the last row of the pattern that is joined as you go to the first row with a thumb hole opening. So very easy, seamless design, no sewing needed. The only time you'll need your yarn needle is to weave in your loose ends. Hi Shane, and hello to anybody whose names I missed along the way. Had a lot to show you this morning. Does anybody have any other questions? That sounds great, Lori. Yes, Doris, I have been busy. I'm always busy, you know that. You know what I realized yesterday? I have not turned on my piano or played piano in a long time. And I'm guessing it has to do with how busy I've been. Pamela, I am having a fantastic fall sale where I've done 30% off of yarns. I don't particularly do a Black Friday sale, but I always do a sale in the fall, which has included 30% off of select yarns. Plus I have a sample sale going on right now. So I've kind of done things in advance of what others technically do as a Black Friday. And I've just been doing fall sales all fall, all along fall. So there is the 30% off of some yarns, there is the sample sale, and as always, I have bulk discounts on all of my yarns and most of my other products, if not all. If I've missed any products, it's not been intentional. I have bulk discounts on patterns and on yarns and everything else on my website. So I try to keep things, I try to have incentives and sales and reward points year round. I'm not really, I don't really love Black Friday in general because of how aggressive and crazy it gets with so many different parts of the world and the country that I try to avoid it. But instead I do sales early and do sales much longer than one day. Great question though. Does anybody have any other questions? If you haven't had a chance to nominate your favorite makers, I'm looking for hidden gems, people that you love and are inspired by that maybe aren't the most famous people, and I would love to feature them in a new interview series I'm working on. So if you want to, there is a blog post on my website towards the top, one of the most recent blog posts, where you can nominate your favorite makers. They don't have to necessarily be knit or crochet related. They have to be people that inspire you, whether they're amazing at charity work or making things or selling things, whatever. Someone that's really creative, and like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be knit and crochet, but tell me who inspires you. Tell me about a hidden gem that you know that maybe I would love to hear about, or maybe we could share with our whole entire audience here on my platform. I have a pretty decent audience, size audience here. I'm approaching 100,000 followers in the next within the next year, and what an amazing opportunity that gives me for showcasing some hidden gems within our creative or crafting world. So if you would like to nominate someone, there is a place to do that on my website, and in there there'll be a form where you can tell me who you want to nominate, tell me why you want to nominate, show me how to find them, and also if there's any questions that you specifically want to ask them, put them there. If I feel like I can tie it into the interview, I absolutely will, and I will even give you credit as to being the person that gave that question, if you want me to. If you don't, that's fine too. But I think it's going to be really fun, and I like the idea of giving you an opportunity to be a part of the whole grassroots project. Also, where are we at today? 945 episodes, and didn't I promise that by 950 episodes I'd start telling you about the plans that I have for celebrating the 1000th episode? So that'll be one day next week, I guess. I will give you the information and give you an opportunity to participate or not participate, whatever you want to do. It's going to be so fun. I'm excited about it, and I think a lot of you will be too. It's okay if you're not. That's fine too. But I did promise that by the 950 episode, I would have an announcement and give you plenty of opportunity to participate if you want. So that'll give you roughly 50 episodes. What is that? 10 weeks to participate if you want. So that'll be so fun. And then we will do our own special one-of-a-kind celebration on the 1000th episode, which those of you who have been following me for a while know that I have made a point to not do anything special on any milestone up to 1,000. I said from the get-go, I want to celebrate 1,000. I want to get to 1,000, and looks like that will happen before I hit 100,000 subscribers too. Interesting. Anyway, lots of fun stuff to celebrate, lots of fun stuff to do, and in the meantime, we got lots of projects to make. We've got gifts to give. We've got things to make for ourselves to stay warm this winter. You know, what else do you want to make? What else haven't I shown you that you want me to show you, or that you want me? What kind of patterns do you want next? More little things, more big things, last minute gifts, things for yourself. What are you excited about? I don't believe this one is in my Amazon shop. I could look. This one is from Chico's, and it's 100 years old. Not exactly, but it's close. It's very old. Most of the clothes in my closet are old. That's okay. When I like something, I wear it till it doesn't work anymore. I wear clothes until the seams give, and I'm happy about that because I love my clothes. Cocoon Cardis. I've made lots of them, Donna. You can find them on my website. They're also called shrugs, and you could find them crochet or knit. You can find a whole bunch of them on my website. Okay, I'm reading now. I didn't quite catch what someone said about, I think someone said they're making an Afghan, not that they needed help finding a pattern for that. And I saw quite a few requests for men's items, a men's hat and a men's vest. Those are great ideas. I'll have to get Marlon's input and see if he'll model for me. I don't know any other men. Thanks, Karen. Yes, denim is one of my favorite colors, and it does work very well in nature settings for sure. I think it looks nice with the sky and with the water. One of my favorite ways to wear denim is with white. So white jeans and a denim top is like one of my favorite combinations, especially if you add a pop of color, like wearing this vest over it. I thought was so pretty. Men, anything. You have 4 boys, Shane. Okay, so what do you mean? Like hats, scarves, vests? What else would you like to see in men's stuff? Small projects, big projects, quick projects? I try to get Marlon's input from time to time too, and he just doesn't have vision for stuff like that. It's like if it's cold outside, he has ideas, but since it hasn't been cold enough for him to need anything yet, he doesn't care. He's like, oh. I'm like, honey, it takes time to make stuff. I need to know in advance. What I thought about doing is making coordinating patterns for a guy and a girl, and then I know I could get Marlon to model with his girlfriend, Jess. So I've been thinking about that, doing a men's and women's versions of stuff and getting them to photograph together. I know he'd be up for that. And then you could either choose to make the men's or women's version. That's fine. It'll just mean that the pattern has either two sizes or 2 yarn weights or whatever. Yeah, it would be cool. It will be fun. Any other questions? Any other requests? They are a cute couple. They're so sweet to each other, and he is the best boyfriend ever, and I can't believe how well he treats her, and I've worried and made myself feel guilty for so many years, thinking that I did a disservice to him by leaving his dad when he was 2, not having another husband, and thinking that obviously to step away from it, to say, Marlon got to see a safe home. Marlon got to see a woman who chose safety over a bad relationship. Those are all good things that I did share, but I worried for so many years that I never showed him what a healthy relationship looked like, that I was so worried that I gave him, you know, a rough start to his own life. So to see that through everything that I did do, he turned out to be an amazing boyfriend is just, oh, amazing, amazing. Yeah, Jill, I've heard you mention the denim top. I said this one is definitely not from my Amazon shop, but I can certainly see if I can find a similar one and add it to there. I mentioned that I bought this one at Chico's many, many, many years ago. In fact, I bought it to wear on the set of Knitting Daily TV, the show that I used to be on years and years ago. You've probably, if you look back at old episodes, I am wearing it on that show. Because I thought the denim was a great background and contrast to knit and crochet items. I was allowed to wear my handmade things on that show. Speaking of which, is anybody getting the new season 12 of Knit and Crochet Now in your areas? Mine, last time I checked, mine hadn't started airing here. I should check again because I would like to do a viewing party with all of you when it is airing here. So I will try to remember to check today, but has anyone else been able to see season 12 yet? Almost looks like, with the color of my hair and the color of the driftwood, it almost looks like this is growing out of my head. Do I look kind of like a Medusa? Oh, funny. I don't care, it's so pretty. Yes, crochet trim looks good on denim too. Yes, the background is absolutely beautiful today. I felt very fortunate when I got here and saw there were not too many people in this area. Normally this is like a hot area where people camp out right away, and I thought maybe I'll give it a shot today, and I did. Because I wanted to photograph the brand new Luxe Becca shawl here. Didn't realize I was going to damage it in the process, but that's okay. Ah, Lily, yes, that, you know what, that is, I'm so glad you mentioned that, and that's one of the reasons why I share my story about domestic violence and why I share the good, bad, and the ugly, is because I know that somehow, some way, I'm helping somebody else. And I almost didn't even share my recent announcement today, and to hear that you're having those same doubts and worries about you raising your son alone or single, I am so glad that I shared it with you today, because I would have loved to have heard something like that to give me hope years ago. And if I can bless you with that information today, that makes everything so worthwhile. It's hard to share the negative parts of your life. It's hard to share the negative parts of your life openly and vulnerably to a large audience, because you always run the risk of people attacking you for it. So the reason I do it is for exactly that, Lily. I'm so glad that I could give you a little bit of hope today, because I know how much value that would have been to me years ago, because I know we're years apart in where our sons are. Yes, for sure, Patricia. All right, thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes here with me. I hope you enjoyed all my show and tells, all my sneak peeks, chatting with me and everyone else here. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next episode of the Kristin Omdahl Show. Bye-bye.